Okay, boys, tell me what time it is.
Interview time!
Alright. It's time we actually heard from our featured artist this week, Kevin Anthony. Kevin Anthony is, without a doubt, Adrian's most popular musician. He has established an exceptionally solid fan base in his beginnings as an artist. His Twitter has over 1,500 followers, and his Facebook page has over 3,000 likes. He's getting regular airplay on internet radio amongst many of America's top artists. His talent is incredible. His determination is huge, and I found out tonight that his personality is extremely positive. I'm gonna take you to the terrace of Adrian College's Student Center, where I talked with Kevin about his endeavors in music. Alright, we're back on the scene, and I have here our featured artist, Kevin Anthony. You heard a little bit from him earlier in this podcast, and now you're gonna hear from the real thing.
Yeah,
Kevin, what's up? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm good. So, I think the first big question is, why music? What influenced you to become a musician?
I think just I needed like a creative outlet.
Okay.
I'm very expressive, and I think sometimes it's not best for me to tell people up front with words. You know what I mean? This is how I feel, but I think through music is a good way of telling them, but not telling them. You know what I mean? Because if they don't end up hearing the song, then that's fine, because I've already expressed myself through a creative outlet. So I thought music was a good thing, and I just felt like I'm really good at it. So, or I could get better at it. I just have raw talent, so I thought I'd go for it.
I agree. I'm not going to argue with that. So yeah, it's just sort of a way to express what you feel, because some of us aren't so good at being frank with what we're saying.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's awesome. So what kind of music did you listen to, like, as a child? Like, and does it influence any of what you do today?
I like that question. When I was coming up, I listened to a lot of different music. I'm from Puerto Rico, so I listened to like a lot of salsa, a lot of I've listened to like some reggae here and there. I've listened to a lot of like Spanish world music, bachata, whatever, all that. I listened to a lot of rap, hip hop, blues, jazz, 50s music. Swing music was huge. Doo-wop. Oh my god, I love doo-wop. Doo-wop is nice.
Doo-wop.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I was listening to a lot of that, and just coming up, but I've always been intrigued by just top 40 pop music, you know. So coming up, just these last couple years, I've been so involved with either R&B or top 40, but I really like the top 40 sound. So I was like, I'm gonna go for this. This is nice. I like this.
Nice.
So,
I like the top 40 sound too.
yeah.
One of my favorites. Okay, so what inspires a lot of your music? First of all, do you write a lot of your own lyrics and stuff?
Yeah,
I'm assuming you do.
I've been writing my own stuff.
Okay.
So just by the little knowledge that I have of how to write music, you know what I mean?
It doesn't sound like it's little, but
but what inspires me, I would say everything I go through. Like, I am an overthinking person, so I'm always overthinking something or looking at something from someone else's perspective, or just asking myself questions over and over again, because I feel like on a social level I keep getting screwed over by life. So I just think I'm just gonna write about it, right? You know what I mean? So I write about it, and that's it.
And I'm not laughing at you getting screwed over by life. I'm laughing because I totally agree.
I know you.
I totally agree.
I just feel like I'm always getting screwed over socially, you know what I mean, by people or just life in general. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I'm just gonna write about it. Whatever.
Getting screwed over, as hard as it is, the best music always comes from it.
From getting screwed over,
or
from
getting
like a
completely screwed over.
Yeah, or feeling low. You know, if you're in a low point of your life, or even if you're at a high point in your life. You know, music comes. Sure. It's a good spectrum of music that you can make from there.
Absolutely, I totally agree. So like I said earlier, your particular interest is like top 40 commercial, like teen pop, that kind of thing. And Image is huge with that genre. So what do you do to sort of keep the image you're going after? Like, what habits do you have? What do you make? Like, what messages do you give out? Like, what are some little things that you like to do to keep your image the way it is?
I don't know where to start. Like, I've always been, I guess, people like the pretty boy thing. So I just thought, if I just realize what I have, and then I enhance it. You know what I mean? If I have If you look like a thug, then just enhance your thugness. You know what I mean? If you look like a clean cut guy, then just enhance your clean cut look and just, dress that style and just do things that are gonna make you look that style. And that's what I do.
So honestly,
that's why I did highlights. I just give myself highlights.
Which, by the way, I love the highlights
Thanks,
so
man.
much. But yeah, I agree. So in a way, it's just sort of being like a better version of yourself.
Better version of yourself, exactly.
Like taking what you're great at and just sort of blowing it up a little bit.
And you look at other people in your genre and you kind of just follow with it, but make it your own, uniquely. You know what I mean? Like when I was thinking about the highlights, I was like, man, what's something, I want to do something to my hair that, I haven't seen since like early 2000, teen pop. So I'm like, I'm going to give myself highlights. I don't see any other guys doing it. And it's going to set me apart, and I like it. It's cool. And so I've gotten a lot of compliments. Some people like it, some people don't, but it's at the end of the day, it's different. And you don't see anybody else doing it. You know what I mean? It's kind of bringing a little early pop back.
I'm so glad you thought up early pop, because when I saw it on Facebook, I saw the picture on Facebook, I instantly thought like, oh my god, NSYNC.
Yeah,
it's so cool. I love it. I haven't had highlights in my hair for forever.
Really?
But
you should try it, man.
I know I've had it before, like when I was a little kid back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I did. I had it when I was a kid.
Oh, the good old days, dude.
Right.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter how good you are as a musician, and I'm talking like in a very general way.
Yeah.
You're always going to have people that are either haters or they don't take you like seriously. Like, do you have any problems with that at all? And could you describe them?
It's not my problem. It's their problem. I don't have a problem. They got the problem. I think this is what, and I'm glad you asked that question. This is the thing, man. And I'm not trying to sound bad with myself and maybe some other, bands that I'll give notoriety to in town. There's not a lot of us that have pure talent enough to make it out of here, so I don't understand what people's problem is. Disacknowledging the fact that I'm an artist that can be better put together enough to make it somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I truly believe that, and I've been told by top-notch producers that I have it, I'm just a little short on some things, you know what I mean, that can make me to be the next thing. Honestly, I don't understand what people's problem is. I think I inspire kids, even if I'm a teen pop artist, and I'm inspiring like young teenage girls that are 14, 15. It doesn't matter. That age group should not be overlooked. You know what I mean? That's a peak age. That's very important in the development of kids. You know what I mean? If somebody like myself can come along and promote a good image and can promote good music, good clean music, then I don't really understand what the problem is. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like I'm putting on a front of something that I'm not. I'm just making music, and it doesn't matter who it touches as long as it touches somebody in a positive manner. I don't understand what the problem is. I think everybody should be able to my music's not going to be for everybody, obviously, but you don't have to diss the music or diss the artist that's making it, you know what I mean?
Right.
When this could be, the only shot Adrian has, or this area has, of putting out something that can be great, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, I could be on MTV with every other artist, or at the Grammys or something, you know what I mean? And I started off locally. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't believe the age group that I'm targeting should be overlooked. I don't believe that because I'm making a certain type of music, people should just hate on it or whatever. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Pass to somebody that may like it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I get a lot of people that like my music, that understand what I'm doing, or even if they don't like my music, they respect it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it just comes down to respect. Respect somebody's grind, and I've been able to do things in a whole year that I haven't seen people do in like 4 or 5 years, or maybe in the whole music career. You know what I mean? So it's just, to me, it's like, just understand what I'm doing, and I'm not creating a negative vibe for anyone. I'm just creating positive music that's inspiring people. And I wish I had somebody at my age. I haven't had so many kids come up to me, people come up to me, when I do shows that are being bullied, or psychologically they're not there because of their social, problems and whatnot. And I'm able to give them good feedback and good advice. And I think that, that's a good thing, because they probably don't listen to their parents, and they probably have friends that are putting them down. And if Kevin Anthony can come and give them some type of emotional healing through words, then it could definitely change their outlook on life. You know what I mean? I get kids that are on the verge of committing suicide, and here I am. I have to give them I don't have to, but I give them, corrective healing through words that inspire them. And it's like, cut me some slack here. Like, I'm able to do that. You're not. So show me some love. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I'm here to support the town and where I'm from, and it's not like I'm gonna blow up and forget where I'm from either. You know what I mean? I'm here to help everybody as much as I can. So I just think people aren't looking. I think people think I'm a teen pop artist. I'm just out here making music, and that's it. That I'm not really doing anything. But if people saw beneath the surface of what I have been doing, you know what I mean, on a one-on-one basis with people would understand a little bit more than it's deeper than music, you know.
Right. I know I've literally just met you just before we started recording this interview, but you have more determination than a lot of musicians I know, and I know a lot of musicians. So kudos. And for those of you listening, we can't really control the noise that's going on in the background. We're kind of in public, so
yeah.
Just excuse the crowds and the driving on the sidewalk by campus police. But anyway, so basically what you're saying with that whole thing is, a lot of it just comes back to knowing you're good, because you are good.
Yeah.
And realizing that, as many people don't like it, like, there are going to be so many people that you're helping, not even just enjoying the music, but deeper than that. Like, that number is like tenfold the people that just aren't going to get it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to help people out and I talk to all my fans. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it takes me 3 days to answer, all my friend requests, all my comments, all the things I get tagged in on Facebook. I respond to every single person, and it doesn't matter what you look like, what your ethnicity is, or whatever. I feel like every fan is very important to me. Every person that supports my music is very important to me. So I answer to all my fans just like they were my best friends, and I feel like my fans are my family. And honestly, my fans actually helped me get through the roughest patches of my music career. You know what I mean? I still get people that are like, Kev, I'm in this. I had a girl that I don't know if you're familiar with the app Kick.
No.
It's
not that hip.
It's a really cool app. Basically, it's like FaceTime, but just texting back and forth. It's really sweet. Anyways, I got people on my Kick fans that hit me up. They're like, Kev, somebody died in my family. I'm going through a hard time, and I'm really glad because that your music is helping me through it. You know what I mean? And it's really, when people say things like that, it's like, man, I didn't know my simple lyrics could help somebody through their troubled times. And that just goes to show you really don't know what your music can do for people, you know what I mean, until they listen to it and respond to it.
It's true. It's amazing.
So
power of music, even what we consider simple music, like you just said,
exactly.
Simple lyrics. There's so much power to it. Okay, so I want to talk about your first big song. How did it come to be? And what was it? I should also ask that too.
If anybody knows Kevin Anthony, I'm pretty sure they would know it's Summer Girls.
Absolutely.
That was the big
I
one.
love that song.
That was a big one, yeah.
I'll tell you,
I think I told you that on the way here how it was created. Basically, I met with this producer from Virginia. His name was Jonathan Velez, and I was at my internship, and I was so desperate for a song. I really just wanted to get in the scene already, so I hit him up and I was like, yo, hook me up with a song. Let's do something. So he's like, all right, man, I'll hook you up with something by 3 p.m. 3 p.m. came around. He tossed me Summer Girls with the blank spots in them. And I recorded them, and I sent it back to him. And John, he was a little skeptical about it. He wanted me to rap on it because he had known me as a rap artist. I'm like, nah, I don't want to rap on it. So, nothing really got accomplished for about a month and a half. I came down, re-recorded it at Willie Green's studio, and I put it out. And everybody liked it. It was just it was a really great song. It's really what started everything. And honestly, I think it was what I needed at the time to get something going. I don't think any other song that I put out could have started me off better than that. You know what I mean? And so when I put it out, John was really happy with it. He was like, you know what, you were right. It's a great song. It's a really good song. And I just kind of brought it to him that maybe we should link up and start doing more stuff. Him as my producer and backup vocals, and me as the face of the music, and that's where things started off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's actually done everything on my second CD, Late Nights and Great Nights. I don't know if anybody, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
But I listened to some tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it out a couple months ago, and he mixed and mastered. I did the the first recordings at Willie Green's house. Then I sent the sessions over to him, to Jonathan, and he just remixed and mastered everything. And he made some of the beats that are on there. So it was a good job. I know me and John planned on doing a third CD together, fully him on the beats and on the production fully. I was planning on going out to Virginia. We're at a standstill with what we want to do and the sound we want to go for. We're taking this one really serious, this third one. We don't want to rush anything. We want to figure out where I need to be at. So
Right. I can't wait to hear it, by the way. If
Thanks.
it's going to be anywhere as near as good as the first two.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've talked a little bit about one of your producers that you've worked with. Have you worked with any others?
I've contacted others. And I've spoken to them.
Okay.
I spoke to Frankie Biggs, which is a multi-platinum producer. He started off doing Spanish music, and now he's ventured off to English music. He's got his own label, Rama Music, and he's just all over the world. He's really big. He's on an independent label now, and you can actually Wikipedia him.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You've made it when?
Yeah, he's got ventures with Nokia, commercials with Nokia and stuff like that. He's pretty big. He's mainly on the international level over in Spain and whatnot now, but yeah, he's been accredited for a lot of things through Billboard awards and Grammys and whatnot. And another one that I spoke to lately was Faden, and he's worked with the likes of Dr. Luke, Max Martin.
And for those of you that don't know producers, those are huge freaking producers. I'm fangirling right now. Oh my gosh.
Those are the guys that are behind the hits of Britney Spears, Katy Perry,
Pink,
Kesha, Pink,
Yep.
NSYNC,
All those people.
Backstreet Boys. So I spoke to Faden, and I sent him some of my tracks, and he said that I got it. I'm a little short of where I need to be with the music, obviously, because I'm just up and coming artist, just using everything I have to the best of my abilities. So those are two of the guys that I've spoken to, and I've spoken to both of them on the phone. I speak to Frankie Biggs through chats and conversations online and everything. So, I'm still networking and whatnot, so.
If you do a Dr. Luke track, you need to, contact me,
For sure.
when it first gets cut, because, oh my lord.
We need to get...
Love Dr. Luke.
We need to get some funding and some more promotion, and we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll work on that. That would be sweet, though,
yeah,
for real.
No, for sure, it'll happen.
For real. Okay, so, social networking. How big is that with you? And
It's important.
obviously.
It's the thing that got me where I am at now. I look at a lot of my analytics through Facebook and Twitter, and I've reached people in countries I didn't think I could reach them. You know what I mean?
Crazy,
Kazakhstan, India, China, Japan, Germany. At least one person has been hit from each of those countries, and then plus some. Bulgaria. It's insane countries. So my music's been touching places. Plus my music gets played on this thing called Django, which is the rival to Pandora. So I'm constantly getting played behind big artists like Flo Rida, Pitbull. You know what I mean? And so it's important. People, are always on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and they just it's crazy where I can reach with social media. You know what I mean?
It's nuts nowadays, dude. It really is. Okay. So gigs. Let's talk about some of the gigs you've played in the past and some that may have been, favorites of yours?
One of my favorites was I got a lot of favorites, but I did one at Madison, a middle school one day. Okay. And the funny thing is, I went to Madison 10 years ago when I was in elementary. And I went back for the show. The same principal was still there. I don't think he had recognized that I was the kid from 10 years ago. I got into a lot of trouble when I was there. My school counselor was still there. A lot of the staff that was when I was there, they were still there, and they were super excited. I fell though. I was singing on the bleachers. I got overzealous and I fell. But I got back up, and nobody really asked me or questioned me about that. But when I was done singing, people were crying. People were going crazy, insane.
Awesome.
It was the principal could not keep order. It was insane. People were "Can I get our dance?" I couldn't keep the crowd in check. You know what I mean? It was just really, really crazy, and it was that. And the first gig I ever did, the first gig as Kevin Anthony that I ever did, was at a quinceañera.
Okay.
for Ariana Vasquez here in town at the fairgrounds, and that was I would say I did a really good job. Everybody thought I really did a fantastic job. That was the first time as Kevin Anthony I ever did a show, and the funniest thing happened. Like probably 4 songs out of 5 songs that I was into, power went out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we had this like 5-minute delay. Power goes back up. I finish the song out, and when I'm done, people are like just all the young people were screaming and yelling and crying, and they didn't even know me. You know what I mean? I was just this guy that came and sang and just did a good show, and people were just, it was like really, really crazy. From then on, I just started getting crazy ads on Facebook, and people holding signs up telling me they love me and they love my music.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just, when people cry and when I see the crowds go insane, it's crazy, you know. And I did a show for, what was it? Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
That was good because there was a lot of young people there, and I got a lot of the same reception, man. It was like people were just crazy about asking for autographs, and you know, it's just really cool. But the Madison show, like, I couldn't keep the crowd in check. Like, it was just, I had to take like at least 2 hours out to visit, because what they had was, it was like an event day, so I had to go to like every event with the principal for everyone to get their autographs, because I was like disturbing the event, actually, the recreations that they had that day. So yeah,
Wow.
Teachers were getting mad at me. It was crazy.
You know you've made it when.
You got people crying for you, and I know some people are gonna be like, "Well, Kev, they're just little girls," but it's not. You know, it's a lot.
Important.
It's important.
Yeah.
You know they're younger
matter.
people. It's, you know, like I said, don't just discriminate the age group. I think people think that because you're in that age group, like everything is so cheesy for that age
Those
group.
hormonal teens, man.
It's, you know, those teens
Gotta
are
keep
important.
them under control.
You gotta. That's an important stage in your life. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And so that, a lot of things that happen in that point in your life are what make you who you are later in life. You know what I mean?
Always.
So, because people always remember what happened when they were 14, 15, you know, or 13 years old. You know, a lot of the emotional things that you go through, they stick with you. You know what I mean? So, I don't overlook the age group. I think it's very important, and it doesn't even matter who I inspire. I get older people, like 50 years old, dude, you are rocking that stage, man. You know what I mean? So it's like really cool.
The best part about playing is always the audience.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's not the songwriting. It's nothing else. It's the audience, because they're
It
just
is.
so freaking cool.
They are, man. My fans are like, they're ride or die. Like, it was funny after I started doing shows, I started getting a lot of hate from certain guys, you know, oh, he uses auto-tune, blah, blah, blah. And
I use auto-tune. Like, what's wrong with that? Like,
I guess people think you can't sing, which it's not that I can't sing. If you notice, in my first CD, there's a lot of auto-tune. In my second one, there's not so much. And on the third one, we plan on eliminating it. And some people that actually hear me sing in person, they're like, I didn't know you could sing outside of auto-tune. Because I actually can really sing. You know what I mean?
know you can. I've heard you without auto-tune. You don't have to convince me of that.
So when people were hating, my fans would like go on these long rants and argue with people all the time, you know, like they were just like fighting my battles for me, and it was so cool. Like, and the people that do it, like, they were fighting my battles for me, like, I always got them in my brain and in my heart, you know what I mean? Because that means a lot when somebody says you suck, and somebody out of nowhere, out of left field, is arguing for you, and it's like really nice, man. So
never had anyone like fight over me online. You have a lot more fans than my music ever has, but like
it's really fun.
I'm gonna make that my goal. Have someone fight over me
for you.
online.
It's really, and it's like you don't even have to say anything at that point because they're arguing, blah blah. You know what I mean?
They're just
making
your argument for you,
yeah, they
man.
just keep going for it, you know, and it's like that's really nice, you know. And it comes to a point where you don't want to see your fans argue with anybody. It's not really worth it. Music is self-perception, and I actually learned that from Rolling Green himself. Music is self-perception. You know what I mean? So
it's what you make of it.
It's what you make of it, and it's how you look at it, you know. So,
I totally agree. So, as we've also discussed this a little bit earlier tonight, obviously there are a lot of other musicians trying to do the same thing that you're doing. So, what advice do you have for them? And it's not just pop musicians, it could be anybody of any genre. Like, what advice do you have for people that have the same determinations as you?
Be realistic. Be realistic. You know what I mean? I get a lot of people that want to do featurings with me and stuff, and it's like, you really got to be realistic with yourself and ask yourself, Is your music quality where it needs to be? You know, do you really got the talent for that? You know, it gets really lonely, man, doing this stuff, you know, and actually having to express yourself through music and you know, come out, and you just got to stay on top of the game. Like now I got a mobile app, you know, for the Android. It just gets really hard having to take big label artist steps and you're on a small funding scale, you know what I mean? And the hate that comes with it sucks sometimes, you know? I'm realistic, you know, I'm not the best singer ever. I know I can use some sprucing up, but I got some raw talent and I can make some decent tracks and it touches people, and I've gotten enough reception back from people to know that this can take me somewhere, you know what I mean? But I think people sometimes aren't realistic, you know, they listen to the music, and honestly, you're going to see your music a lot better than what it really is. It's kind of like they tell you, there's like this fact out there that if you look in the mirror, I guess you see yourself 5 times more attractive than what you really are.
Most people might.
Most people, it's like a general rule, and so you just gotta be realistic, like, you know what I mean? Make sure your beats are on point, make sure your vocals are on point, make sure your image is put together correctly, and make sure you're plugging yourself to the right media outlets. You know what I mean? It gets really lonely sometimes, you know, everyone is out having a good time and you're stuck in your room, you know, trying to rush things, you know, together for your next CD. And that's one thing I have to constantly do is push out music so people aren't getting tired. You know, some people aren't like, I got to just stay consistent to give people stuff. You know what I mean? So it's you just got to stay consistent and be realistic on what you can do, you know?
And build on your strengths, I think.
Build on your strengths, but you got to build on your weaknesses too, man.
It's true,
you can't just let them, you know, die out.
It's true.
You know,
so
struggle along.
Like, whenever I upload music online, I always get, not that I don't like this because it's good, but I get praise, you know, because I think most people do that are willing to comment, they give praise. Where are some good places where you can get, like, constructive criticism? You talked about some producers you've talked with. Is there anywhere else?
There's a lot of outlets. There's a lot of things now for artists where you can actually send your stuff to A&Rs and just get feedback, dude. You know, some of it's free, some of it'll cost you $1 or $2.
That's not bad.
But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, is it comparable to music that's in your genre? When I listen to myself, I start to, you know, plug it next to other songs by Justin Bieber and One Direction and think to myself, is this comparable? You know, the production, the mastering of it might not be where it needs to be, but generally, is the concept where it needs to be? Is the music catchy? Is it decent? Do I sound okay? You know what I mean? That's where it's at.
Exactly.
Usually, plug your stuff to people that aren't your friends. Your friends usually will be like, oh yeah, it's okay, you know, that's pretty good. But you gotta plug your, you know, or you're gonna hate on it, or you know. Yeah.
Or plug it to friends that you know are gonna critique it.
Critique it correctly.
I always do that, like with my music again, because I need honesty, you know.
Yeah.
And sorry, listeners, we have another crowd, but we will make do. So
just make sure you plug your stuff to the right people. You know what I mean? And some people ask me, like, what's the best way to get started? Listen to people in the genre you're trying to go after, and follow that. You know what I mean? Follow that musical concept. When I want to come out with more teen pop, I start listening to people that are in teen pop. Big Time Rush, Selena Gomez, all these other people. Listen to their rhyme schemes, listen to how they rhyme, and just kind of just build off that, imitate it a little bit. You know what I mean? Until you get your own unique sound going.
Same with producers.
Yeah.
And I think that because you got to stay up on like the latest trends, and especially again in top 40. You know, it's a really trendy kind of genre.
It's a really trendy thing.
So you always I can see how artists, not only producers but singers as well, always have to keep up on that kind of thing. What's new? What's hot? What's trending?
But you know, you get to a point where you're like, all right, I know where I'm at, and then you can branch off to your own unique sound. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So my final question: what can we expect from my second to final question? What can we expect from Kevin Anthony in the future?
More music. I plan on like going places for our music. I don't know. Right now we're in the standstill with the third CD. We don't know if we want to go to Virginia and record there. We don't. You know, I don't know right now if I want to go to Florida. I got somebody in Florida that might work on my stuff. Right now there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. I just, for sure, more music, more media outlets. Right now I'm just really concentrating on getting myself plugged with more radio plays, getting it into more fans' hands, reaching out to different places, plugging it to more industry professionals to hear my stuff, you know what I mean? And just better, catchier music that's really gonna make you, you know, jiggle your thighs or whatever, you know, do your you know, dance, whatever. Or, you know, I make music, happy music for when you're happy, and I make sad music for when you need to reflect on things. So right now on the third CD, we want to give a more mature sound, but keep it catchy, keep it trendy, keep it fun, keep it sad, whatever, you know, everything from top to bottom and in the middle. So I just want to do things that other artists aren't doing. You know, who else do you know is traveling out of state to record? You know what I mean? You know, and I'm a pop artist. You know what I mean? I'm like, I guess I'm looked at as a children's act, whatever. I don't care, but at the same time, like, I want to be ahead of whoever is in the elites of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Nobody else at this point can say they're going out of state to record. Traveling to different places, getting connected. Here. You know what I mean? I gotta get my stuff situated. So, more music, just more fun, more shows. You know, right now I'm doing a show Saturday, actually tomorrow. That's what I came to town for. I got a show at the Mexican American Festival in Perrysburg, Ohio. Channel 13 is gonna be there. There's gonna be news coverage.
Nice.
You know, it's gonna be in the paper. I got a show at this venue called Smalls in Detroit metro area. That's supposed to be good. You know, I got tickets on sale for that.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah, man, we're just...
Yeah, you're all over the freaking place.
We gotta stay all over the place, man, you know? And there's artists that I feel like, I'm really happy to say this, but I feel like I'm part of this new wave that Adrian's coming out with good artists.
They really are.
You know
There's
what
a
I
lot
mean?
of talent
I haven't seen Adrian... The movement in Adrian as strong than it has in the past 6 months. You know, you got Willie Green doing his thing. He's actually a really neat producer that came up from the same way I came up, just learning to tweak things here and there. You got artists like Low. That's a guy that's getting produced by Willie Green. They're actually creating their own high quality studio here in Adrian. You know what I mean? Like,
we need it.
High tech, yeah. You know, and Lowe's doing great things. He's getting right plugs. He's a rapper, you know, and that's like probably one of the rappers that I would listen to. That when you listen to Lowe, you're like, oh, is this guy signed? Because he sounds like he's signed. You know what I mean? That's good stuff that's coming out. You got a lot of other artists, man. You got UMG, the whole UMG team, and just everybody that's around Willie Green's clique is really just doing their thing. And I'm proud to say that you know, Willie's definitely my friend, and if it wasn't for Willie and John on my first CD, I wouldn't even be where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? And we get excited when we hear our songs on the radio. I get a lot of people that say, yo, I heard the song on the radio, blah, blah. You know, Willie's heard it a couple times, and it's exciting. It doesn't even matter if it's the local radio station that's playing it. You get excited, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of, so I just feel like there's a good wave of people, and things are musically popping off in this town really good. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And I know I got a friend named AJ for show, and he's like amazingly good R&B and rapper, and he's really doing his thing. And I'm really good to be in the scene with those people that are, you know, like AJ for show, who's helping me get on radio and whatnot. He's really bringing things to the table for me. And when you see AJ, you wouldn't think like, oh, you know, he would be with Kevin Anthony, but I think people just respect each other's grind and hustle, and whatever they can do to help is really, you know, what they're about. So
connections are big.
And I just want to, you know, say thank you to all my fans, Chris for, you know, the radio interview, and all my people, you know, the whole UMG team, Willie Green, Low, Jonathan Velez for helping me on my CDs, Willie Green for helping me craft my first 2 CDs. You know, all my fans, you know who you are, the Anthonys. I love y'all for real.
The Anthonys, I like that. I'm an Anthony. Totally,
yeah.
Totally, absolutely. So anyways, that's all I have for you. Kevin Anthony, everybody. Oh, also, where can your fans get a hold of you? They probably already know.
Everywhere. All right. Man, where do I start? I get this question a lot. Facebook.com/I'm Kevin Anthony. Twitter @It's Kevin Anthony. Instagram I am Kevin Anthony. ReverbNation.com/I am Kevin Anthony. SoundCloud.com/Kevin Anthony Music. If you actually Google my name with certain songs like Breathless, Summer Girls, a lot of stuff will pop up. I got 2 music videos out for Telephone, one for Unforgettable. I'm on beat100.com, so make sure you vote for my stuff there. I'm like, last time I checked, I was like number 27 for pop in the world. You know what I mean? And I get some nice reviews from other artists around the world. What can I say? Where else am I at? Oh, my first 2 CDs are on tweetmysong.com. Actually, if you just Google Kevin Anthony and the title of the CD, Anything and Everything, or Late Nights and Great Nights, it's there for download. I'm on Django Radio, so make sure you just type in Kevin Anthony on the search bar, and my radio station will pop up. You get people like One Direction, Big Time Rush, Selena Gomez, David Archuleta, Taylor Swift, all those great people on my radio station. So I get played on podcasts in different parts of the world, and I'm just branching out, dude. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So make sure you get on my social media, man.
Yeah. And all of those links will be in the description.
Yeah.
So I have some homework to do. Anyway,
For sure. No, for sure. I'll give it to you, man. Oh, and before I leave, I want to give a big shout out to Kenesha K. Definitely a good plug. I was telling you about her.
Yeah, you were.
She's a really good friend of mine, and we've been talking lately. She's gonna be probably the next thing out of Michigan, doing excellent things. She got a music video out for her CD, and that's a really good plug right there. Plus, Melanie Unger, I was telling you about her too. She's a country pop singer, songwriter. She's actually helping me tweak some of my lyrics to this new CD. She's like the next Taylor Swift. She's amazing, dude. Her stuff is like on point. The way she expresses herself is amazing, and her music, when you listen to it, you're like, wow, like that really touched me. You know what I mean? So shout out to Melanie Unger from Canada and Kenesha K from Grand Rapids, and I'm really just enthralled to be in the midst of such artists like that and all the other artists that I've mentioned. So yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Kevin Anthony, for doing this interview. It's an honor. And yeah, thank you all for listening. And we are going to, speaking of Kevin Anthony, we are going to play Summer Girls so you all can hear it. It's one of my favorite songs. All right.
Peace out.
Once more, something's wrong.